Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So yes, as you guys can probably tell, voice is going to be off for a little bit of time as I do heal up from my recent complications with my surgery, but we have an absolute banger to go over today. HBAR is about to create new millionaires. HBAR is about to explode, and in this video, I am going to be breaking down exactly why. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Let's talk a little bit about what's been happening in the market. I am recording this ahead of time. Obviously, yes, volatility is going to continue. We're going to see some price swings, but for the most part, I want to talk more so about the mid to long-term path ahead this bull run, because we are in the middle of a bull run. We are in essentially alt season, and things are starting to pick up in a big way. And if we actually look at Bitcoin sitting at about roughly $91,000, almost $300, the big thing to take away from all of this is, yes, we are seeing a lot of major moves on altcoins, including, of course, HBAR. But the big thing to focus on is Bitcoin dominance. Guys, I want you all to understand that this is not what alt season looks like. This is what alt season looks like right here. This is what we want to see over here for Bitcoin. We want to see this thing completely sell off. Right now, we are still in Bitcoin season. And I know that that sounds crazy to a lot of you, but yeah, we're not yet in alt season. So as we do look at a lot of these altcoin gains on the last 24 hours, the last 7 days, this is just the beginning. And for HBAR to be up 71% in the last 7 days, we're up almost 27% on the last 24 hours. This is just the beginning. But let's take a quick look at HBAR because the volume is up 56% to almost $1 billion in the last 24 hours, sitting at about roughly 8 cents. Not too bad at all. This is actually very, very bullish. I do want to go over a few charts when it comes to HBAR because I think this is going to open a lot of your guys' eyes to just how early we are on this HBAR run. So let's take a quick look at HBAR dominance. So this thing was selling off like crazy, while of course the price action on HBAR was looking pretty rough. For example, this is the last 1 year as this thing was down in the dumps, especially recently when all sentiment was dead. Nobody cared about altcoins. Nobody wanted to hear about altcoins. They were like, all right, that's it. I'm done. And I kept telling you guys, it feels so similar to like the fall time of 2020, right before the big move started. And that's exactly what we are seeing right now, where the sentiment was so bad, a lot of people were actually capitulating, and now altcoins are going parabolic. And that's what's showing on this chart as well. Dominance was so down, and now we're having a nice little spike here. But you know what's crazy about this? We are only at 0.11% in terms of dominance for HBAR. This is crazy, especially when we compare it back to recently in April, where we were at roughly 0.26%, which was also the all-time highs from September of 2021. When this thing starts to break out, I don't think that that's going to be the top. In fact, I believe that HBAR is going to go to at least 1% dominance, especially in a market that has almost, right now, currently it's over 3 trillion. But if we're talking about 5 to 7 trillion, 1% of that is very significant for HBAR, which also means that the overall market cap for HBAR is going to be significantly higher, which also means that the overall price targets for HBAR are also going to be significantly higher. A lot of people have been asking me, Nick, how high do you think HBAR will go this bull run? Well, if we're talking about a 50 billion total supply for HBAR, or even if we're going off the circulating supply, I would not be surprised at all with a $1 to $2 price prediction on HBAR. And could it go much higher? Sure, it can. Anything is possible, especially in a market that is still driven by hype and speculation when Dogecoin is at almost $55 billion in terms of market cap value. And if we go back to 2021, it was almost at $100 billion. So anything is possible. Now, outside of HBAR dominance, when we go and look at HBAR Bitcoin, again, this thing was heavily sold off. I just want to invert this real quick just to kind of show you guys this. So as everyone was getting so bearish on HBAR because HBAR Bitcoin was continuing lower and lower and lower. It kept rejecting off that top. All of a sudden, we have a nice impulsive move off of the top of this trend line, which is technically the bottom trend line. Now, the thing that I'm watching for is for us to regain this upper trend line, backtest it, and then continue higher, because this is going to show us a lot of strength against Bitcoin. This will most likely happen as Bitcoin dominance starts to sell off and get usurped to buy altcoins. HBAR will benefit greatly from this because, again, as we do start to see HBAR gain strength against Bitcoin, it means that HBAR is actually pumping on the not only Bitcoin chart, but also on the USD pair. And I think that HBAR right now is actually setting up for a very big move because of all of the recent announcements, which we will talk about. So let's actually dive on into that. Let's talk about a few things that's going to allow HBAR to go on an absolute massive tear, go to a new all-time high, and actually break to potentially $1 to $2 this cycle. Let's start off with this. ETFs. We have been hearing a lot about ETFs. ETFs have been a very big talking point, especially this year, with Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs. Everybody was talking about the Solana ETFs, even XRP ETFs. And now, of course, yes, HBAR is also in the discussion. Now, if we're really looking at this, okay, we have today Canary Capital files S1 with the SEC to launch an HBAR ETF. In my opinion, this just makes sense. I think that there's going to be an ETF for a majority of a lot of these projects, especially the legitimate ones that have a lot of use case potential behind them, and that actually have real world value tied to them. As we really look at the ETFs, what's very bullish about them is simply because of the volume and the value that it really kind of brings to this space. Also, liquidity. Liquidity for these projects like HBAR, for an example, would benefit the token and token holders greatly. So it's not a bad thing. I actually think that this is very bullish, and it definitely ignited a little bit of a bigger move on the chart, especially, if we go back in time to just like the last month, and we go back to roughly the 12th, already the price move was starting here, but on the 12th, as you guys can see, that nice big spike. And that was because of course, the ETF filing. But also, if we go over here, we have from HBAR Foundation, now this is actually from the Wall Street Journal, we have deregulation hopes give crypto's ETF push a lift. And we can actually see that the HBAR ETF was being talked about here in terms of Canary Capital Group on Monday filing with the SEC for an HBAR ETF. So it seems as though, we're getting a lot of a big spotlight put on HBAR. We're getting a big spotlight put on crypto in general, especially now with a lot of these pro-crypto discussions happening because of the new administration. I think that it's only a matter of time until crypto just becomes a much bigger piece of the traditional world. I also think that this asset class is just poised to explode massively. Like, if we're talking about just this bull run, yeah, this bull run will be huge. But if we're talking about the long-term path here for crypto, I just don't see how crypto doesn't get to like a $50 to $100 trillion plus market cap. And at that point, I don't think that we're going to be sitting around talking about, hey, I think HBAR holders are going to be rich. I think that these holders are going to be rich. No, I think that it's just going to be, whoever got in early, man, they must be wealthy, right? So, I think that right now, yeah, a lot of these discussions, a lot of what we are seeing is really kind of painting a solid roadmap for a lot of these projects like Hedera to be just absolute giants. But also, talking about a little bit more of the ETFs and index funds, check this out. This is from Coinbase. So HBAR is actually now included in this Meet the Coinbase 50 index. It's a whole new way to track the performance of the crypto economy. It is a market cap weighted index, and it does include a lot of these projects, including, of course, HBAR. It does cover roughly 80% of the crypto market because they are going off of the dominance. But this is actually great exposure, of course, for Hedera. We know that HBAR got listed on Coinbase, I want to say back in like September of 2022. A while back. I remember specifically because we were waiting for the Coinbase listing for so long, and I actually think that they messed up. I think that they messed up the listing at the time. There's a lot of drama. HBAR Barians were pretty angry. So again, it is what it is, but this is still great for Hedera. A little bit more of, some great exposure. I think that's great from Coinbase's perspective as well. Now, also over here from Asari Crypto, Hedera's Q3 report. Key update: Hedera launched the Asset Tokenization Studio, an open source toolkit for issuing and managing tokenized securities on chain. Quarter over quarter metrics, this is the important thing, right? So revenue in HBAR, 85%, daily transactions, 15%, DeFi TVL in HBAR, 9%. So love to see this. You can actually see that the Hedera services revenues rose quarter over quarter, bumping total revenue up 85% to 27 million HBAR. So love to see that. Again, some growth here is awesome to see. The big thing that I'm actually focused on is DeFi, because we have been really kind of focused on DeFi for a while. You guys are probably all aware of why I've been focused on DeFi. If you guys know, you know. This is what the overall TVL for Hedera looks like. And I just want to put a little bit of a spotlight on just the last couple days since November. So the November 1st, we were sitting at 66.18 million in USD. We're over 115 million right now. In terms of TVL. And by the way, if we're talking about HBAR, again, it's pretty significant. We're seeing a big spike here. And this is because of some new projects launching on Hedera. For an example, Bonzo Finance, which if you guys did forget, here we actually have over here from Bonzo Finance. They launched on October 28th, bringing Aave-based lending to Hedera. With over 5.3 million in liquidity thus far, Bonzo Finance aims to become the liquidity layer of Hedera. And this rose quickly in terms of TVL. We could actually see that they're now number 3 with over $7 million tied to them. This happened in a very short amount of time. For an example, just look at how quick this thing has rose in TVL. And I knew that it was going to. Bonzo is becoming a blue chip, in my opinion, around the DeFi space for Hedera, just like I thought it would. And I'm very excited about that. Now, also, outside of TVL, which continues to rise, as you guys can see, I have been focused on the core developers and also the commits. And if we really look at this, core devs have been up significantly. Commits have been pretty stable for the most part. But again, building is happening on Hedera in a very large way, which is very beneficial for the overall ecosystem. Also, though, we have been hearing some discussions around collaborations happening in the space. If we go over here, top 10, Cardano, for an example, at number 9, $25.7 billion in market cap. Charles Hoskinson reaching out to Lehman Baird, the co-founder of Hedera. Let's have a call sometime. This is on November 12th. Lehman Baird responded, I DM'd you and look forward to connecting soon. This is very exciting stuff, especially considering the fact that a lot of these players are already in discussion with each other. Here we have the DREC Alliance, for an example, Hedera, Cardano, Ripple, Algorand, so many big players on here. When we really look at what's going on here, collaboration is so crucial. Like I said, going back to the beginning of this video, I see this space becoming a $50 to $100 trillion asset class. It doesn't get there if we're all going at each other's necks saying, oh, Hedera is better than Cardano, or Cardano is better than this, whatever. We need open collaboration. So this is very beneficial for the space as well. It's going to propel the space even, forward more and more and more. So very exciting stuff. I think that this is great. And, as we really look at all of this stuff combined, Hedera has been absolutely killing it. The whole year of 2024, Hedera has been killing it. Even if we go all the way back to 2022 to now, in the last 2 years, Hedera has set the stage for HBAR to be an absolute giant this bull run. And when alt season officially kicks in, because everyone's getting excited right now, when alt season officially kicks in, guys, we're not going to be celebrating 70% moves. We're going to be celebrating 700% plus moves. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.